closed-circuit transmission to the TNGOP SEC committee. Listen, y'all have been trying to get Republican leadership to close the freaking Republican primaries to only Republicans forever. And they have thumbed their nose at you, laughed at you, scoffed at you. Scott Golden goes down there on bended knee, looking like somebody who's prostrated before a great monarch, to just ask what Republican primary voters want. And leadership has continually told y'all to go pound sand. People like John Crawford. It's ridiculous. When we poll and survey Republican primary voters and we ask them if they want Democrats voting in Republican primaries, it's like 97% say no. They say no. And yet, I have people like David Queen arguing with me that Democrats should be allowed to vote in Republican primaries, and he's an SEC committee member. In fact, he's mine. He may not be mine for much longer. If people know this, they will not vote for you as an SEC committee member. I cannot imagine why. So when this meeting is going to take place, this public meeting, and it ought to be public, where John Ragan complains because Democrats are voting in Republican primaries and picking the Republican primary candidate. It happened here in Hamilton County, in the county mayor's race. Happens all over the state. And they won't do anything about it. They don't care because they want Democrats voting in Republican primaries because it elects rhinos. You know it, I know it, they know it. It's simple. So if John Ragan can't get redress through the party for what the bylaws say to get these Democrat votes thrown out, if y'all aren't going to give him any justice as an SEC committee member, what do you exist for? Grow a pair of you-know-what. Show the legislature that you actually do something unique. You listen to the Republican primary voter. It would be a refreshing breath of air for the conservative grassroots community. And I'm here to tell you, finally, I got to go in here and watch the Avatar, the old cartoon, okay, with my kids. I'm fired up about this, but listen, you can't let the legislature do your work. Your work is to make sure only Democrats vote. Or Democrats vote now sound like a rhino. Only Republicans vote in Republican primaries. That is your job. And so, if we discover, or you discover, through whatever it is that you do, that Democrats did indeed cross over, and that's the reason John Ragan left, or lost rather, you need to undo the results of the election and put John Ragan back as the nominee. That's what you should do. So we're going to be following this story like exceedingly close. Because I want to know. I want to know which SEC committee members want Democrats voting in Republican primaries, and if they discover it, won't do anything about it and stand up for the rhino BS. Conservatives need to know that. So guys, I mean, give the man some justice. Give him some justice. I know everything in life is awkward and hard. Every time you tell the truth, it usually costs you something. Well, what you going to do? You got a job to do. Look into it. Do what's ethical and honest, not what's political and convenient for you personally. You're sent to your job. You wanted it. Obviously, you ran for it to represent conservative primary voters. Well, I'm here to tell you 97% thereabouts of them do not want this, and they will be looking to you to do something about it since the legislature won't. Now, here's one last final thing I've heard. I've heard that William Lambert is going to carry a bill to close the Republican primaries, which is funny to me, because if you watch what the rhinos do, conservatives will carry bills like Janice Bowling's transgender bill. It'll get killed by rhinos, and then later when it becomes a big political inconvenience for them, and they finally actually decide to listen only because they're politically scared and worried about their elections. And William Lambert, you know, he's the one that wanted illegal aliens to be police officers. He brought the bill, withdrew it when we pulled it. So this is the guy that's now going to go close the Republican primaries. You ought to go back to the people that ran those original bills and let them take the credit for the good ideas instead of running out in front of the limelight. And obviously William Lambert believes that, you know, there is no we in team. There's only I suppose. Guys, get in there, And let's get this done. Let's get this done. The grassroots community and the GOP primary voters deserve it. That's all I got. Night, night.